Hello, I'm Philip Smith, financial planner with Tide Pool Wealth Strategies, dedicated to helping late career professionals navigate the tides of retirement planning with clarity and confidence. This is your retirement planning guide to money management, pursuit of long-term financial growth, and creating an adaptive strategy tailored to your unique and evolving journey. In every episode, I'll share concise, actionable insights to help you plan a retirement of purpose, resilience, and confidence. Welcome to
The Perfect Retirement Plan?
Hey there, welcome. Today, we're wading into a topical question that can leave even the savviest C-suite executives scratching their head. How do I withdraw from my retirement accounts without messing up my taxes or running out of money? Look, you've spent decades saving and building up your nest egg, but now you're facing the part no one talks about enough: how to actually spend it. If you pull from the wrong accounts in the wrong order, you could be paying Uncle Sam a bigger tip than he deserves. Quick pro tip: Uncle Sam doesn't deserve a tip. So, let's wade into this together and figure out how to make your withdrawals as tax efficient and sustainable as possible. Oh, hey, Cash, hit him with that disclosure that has questionable relevance to this topic.
All investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. There's no assurance that any investment strategy will be successful. Peace.
Superb. Here's why withdrawal order matters. When you're saving for retirement, it's like filling up 3 different buckets. Tax buckets. You have your taxable bucket, already taxed when you put the money in, and future growth has potential tax implications from year to year. Then there is the tax-deferred bucket, like your pre-tax contributions in a 401k or your traditional IRA. You've realized the tax deduction today, and the IRS is waiting for their turn to dip in when you withdraw money later. And hopefully you have that third bucket, the tax-free bucket, something like a Roth IRA, where you've paid the taxes up front, and after meeting a couple of requirements, account open for 5 calendar years and being over age 59 and a half, and as long as you don't live in Michigan or Mississippi, withdrawals are 100% tax-free. You wouldn't just scoop money from the first bucket you see without thinking. This is the same with your retirement savings. Here's why. The order in which you withdraw can save you or cost you thousands of dollars in taxes. It can also impact how long your money lasts. Let's say you're retired and you need $50,000 for living expenses. If you pull it all from your tax-deferred account, like a 401k, that $50,000 is taxed as income, potentially bumping you into a higher tax bracket. Instead, what if you took some from your taxable account, where you only owe taxes on growth, and filled the rest of the gap with tax-free withdrawals from your Roth? Suddenly, you're paying far less in taxes. Hey Cash, what's the biggest mistake retirees make when withdrawing their funds?
The biggest mistake is treating withdrawals like a bank account, taking money wherever it's easiest without considering the tax impact.
Right, I've seen it happen many times. Retirement withdrawals aren't just about where the money is. It's about minimizing taxes, managing income, and maximizing longevity. You can source your income quite a few different ways. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to address what is commonly the most tax-efficient order for withdrawing money from the various types of accounts. But this is not a hard and fast rule. It might not be the best strategy for your specific financial situation. Consult with your financial advisor and your tax professional if you're unsure of the best strategy for your situation. Let's dig into what is typically the best or optimal order to take withdrawals and why it works. Number 1, start with taxable accounts. If you've got money in a brokerage account, also called an individual account or TOD account, a joint account, a non-qualified account, these are all names for the same thing, a non-retirement investment account. This is your first stop. Why? Because withdrawals here don't trigger income taxes. You've already paid taxes on the principal or the amount you've put in. You'll only owe on the growth, which is often taxed at a lower capital gains rate. Here's an example. You invested $10,000 in a taxable account and it grew to $14,000. If you pull out $12,000, only $2,000 is taxable, and that tax might be at a 0% rate, a 15% rate, or a 20% rate. Using taxable accounts early can help keep your total taxable income lower, which I'll talk a little more about when we hit Social Security taxes. Now, number 2, move to the tax-deferred account withdrawals. So next, you dip into your 401ks and traditional IRAs, hopefully traditional IRAs at this point if you're retired. This money was never taxed, and so the IRS in most states are ready to tax every dollar you withdraw as income. The key here is control. You want to withdraw just enough to cover your needs without accidentally jumping into a higher tax bracket. Cash. What's an example of the tax brackets for 2025?
In 2025, for married couples filing jointly, the 12% tax bracket goes up to $94,300. The next jump is to the 22% tax rate. Yeesh.
Okay, so let's say you need, $70,000 this year on top of your Social Security income. One approach is to take enough from your tax-deferred accounts, your traditional IRA, or maybe from the pre-tax portion of a 401k or 403b, to stay in that 12% bracket, and then fill the rest with taxable account or Roth withdrawals. This quote-unquote tax bracket management can save you thousands of dollars over your retirement. Now, number 3, save your Roth IRAs for last. Now, finally, the Roth IRA is your secret weapon. These withdrawals, after meeting the previously mentioned prerequisites, are potentially tax-free, so you may want to preserve this money as long as possible. Here's the beauty of Roth IRAs. They don't have required minimum distributions or RMDs. You can use them later in life to avoid higher taxes if your income spikes, and they're a powerful tool for legacy planning since heirs may be able to withdraw tax-free as well. Think of your Roth as a sort of a safety net. It's flexible, tax-free, and great for both you and your loved ones. Now, let's talk RMDs, required minimum distributions, because this rule catches a lot of retirees off guard. Currently starting at age 73, the IRS forces you to take money out of your traditional IRAs and 401ks every year, whether you need it or not. The percentage you withdraw increases over time. For example, at age 73, it's about 3.7% of your total traditional IRA balance. By age 85, it's closer to 6%. Now, here's the problem. If you ignore RMDs, the IRS slaps you with a 25% penalty on what you should have taken. And yes, they are absolutely serious about this. So Cash, what's the smartest way to plan for RMDs?
Start taking small withdrawals from your tax-deferred accounts early, even before RMDs, to spread out the tax hit over time.
Yeah, that's one method that might work. By starting withdrawals strategically in your 60s, you can reduce your RMDs later and avoid a big tax bomb in your 70s, or worse, the single filer's quote-unquote widow bomb if you become the surviving spouse. That is a full discussion for another day. Let's talk about a few other common pitfalls that I've seen. One is ignoring the impact on Social Security taxes. Here's a fun fact. Up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be taxed if your income hits certain thresholds. If you're pulling too much from your IRA in a single year, you could accidentally cause this. Be prepared. 2, not coordinating with a spouse. If you're married, it's important to plan withdrawals together. Maybe one spouse delays Social Security while the other takes withdrawals to fill the income gap. This can assist in efficiently spending down one account while maximizing a spouse's Social Security benefit. Third pitfall, overspending early. It's easy to take too much out in the first few years of retirement. Remember, retirement is a marathon, not a sprint. Pace yourself accordingly. And number 4, letting RMDs sneak up on you. Plan for these ahead of time. Don't let the IRS penalties catch you napping, and try to avoid large RMDs later in retirement that cause you to bump up into higher tax brackets. It happens. A financial advisor can be a great resource for identifying these mistakes in advance. In our line of work, we get a front row seat to other people's experiences, and we're able to gain valuable insights that we can then use to help guide many others. So let's take some action on this. In the next week or so, begin assessing your own potential tax situation by first, reviewing your buckets. Take stock of what's in your taxable, tax-deferred, and tax-free accounts. Second, estimating your income needs. Figure out how much you'll need to withdraw each year and from which accounts. And third, begin to plan for RMDs. Start strategizing before you turn 73 to minimize the tax impact. A smart withdrawal strategy isn't about making the right decision once. It's about adapting as you go. By withdrawing in the right order, managing your tax brackets, and planning for RMDs, you can stretch your savings further, minimize taxes, and leave a legacy that makes you proud. If you're unsure about how to go about all of this on your own, feel free to reach out and connect with me or a trusted financial advisor in your area. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Perfect Retirement Plan. Remember, it's not about having the smartest financial advisor, the most money saved, or the highest probability of retirement success, whatever that means. The perfect retirement plan for you is the one you act on. It's disclosure time. This podcast is intended for educational purposes only, should not be used for any other purpose. The views depicted in this material should not be considered specific advice or recommendations for any individual, are not intended to be financial, tax, or legal advice, and do not represent Typo Wealth Strategies or Cetera Advisor Networks, LLC. For a comprehensive review of your personal situation, always consult with a financial, tax, or legal advisor. Neither Cetera nor any of its representatives may give legal or tax advice. Our office address is 450 Country Club Road, Suite 350, Eugene, Oregon 97401. Securities and advisory services are offered through Cetera Advisor Networks, LLC, a broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, and member of FINRA and SIPC. Cetera is under separate ownership for any other named entity.